So many of the things that we talk about or that we hear you all talk about are, even in the talking about them, perpetuating the unwanted experience. And yet you got to start somewhere. In other words, here's where I am. So what we want to convey to you is that anytime that you have physical discomfort, it's just a stronger indication of discordant energy. It's easy to pinpoint it to a specific experience, to a specific thing that happened, to a specific condition. In other words, it's very easy once you are standing in the place of an experience that is less than what you would want to live, or more of something unwanted than you want to live. It's easy to explain it through the conditions. It's easy. In fact, it's the physical way. It's the human way. This feels like this because of this and this and this and this and this. But if we can convince you, we'd like to convince all of you that there is a way to withdraw from the specifics or the details of the what is reality and return to the vibrational version of it, which is the beginning version of it, and then start building it anew toward a different outcome. Does that make sense to you? But the thing that makes, especially relative to a physical condition, the thing that makes that more difficult than maybe some other subjects is that the physical condition and the physical discomfort just meaning emotion that has more momentum to it. The physical condition or the physical discomfort get your attention and hold you often in the vibration of what is. So we're going to try to demonstrate this in a way that you can look at it differently. So first conceptually, and then we will talk about precisely what we would do if we were standing in your physical shoes. So do you understand when we say that law of attraction and momentum are the same word? Does that make sense to you? Because when you think a thought for as little as 17 seconds, another thought like it joins it, and another 17 seconds, another and another, until in very short time you can get a lot of momentum of thought going. So law of attraction and momentum, same subject, yes? Is it logical to you that when you focus upon a thought, therefore, since you know about law of attraction, is it logical that when you first are thinking about something, that it would be more general, less specific than later on? If you think about law of attraction in the simple way we've just defined it, isn't it logical?
Yes.
That in the early stages, it is more general, and the more you think about it, the more specific it gets. So what we are wanting to demonstrate is that if when you find yourself out there in that strong momentum, if you could pull back to the general, you would stop most of the resistance, because your desire is already out there, and now this contradictory thought is already out there. So there's this big arc of resistance. That's what this wobble is about, that you are feeling in this stronger negative emotion. If you could come back to the general, away from the specific, then there wouldn't be that wobble in your beingness. But humans want to say, but Abraham, we live in the real world. We just can't sit around and om all day. We can't just be in a state of meditation. I'd like to sleep all day, but I can't sleep all day. In other words, I'm out there in the real world, and the specifics of the real world keep getting activated in my vibration. And we say, we know that that's exactly what's happening, but you can still, no matter what the subject is, you can come back to the general if you will just overlay on this whole concept, on this whole idea. Just think about the notion of unconditional love. At the center, or at the root, at the genesis, at the beginning, at the now place where you can begin, where all of your power is, if you can disregard the conditions Sounds like exclusion, doesn't it? If you can not think about the conditions, Abraham, you just said we can't not do that. So if you can think about something other than that, that's not laced with everything that's all laced with, then you can find your non-controverted, your non-resisted starting place. You can find that. So we'll just ask you some questions to sort of get that going. Would you rather experience clarity or confusion?
Clarity.
So just sit with that for just a minute. Just think about it. Clarity or confusion? Would you rather experience ease or frenzy?
Ease.
Would you rather experience calm or panic?
Calm.
So, calm and ease. Would you rather experience kind or mean?
Kind.
Would you rather experience appreciation or criticism?
Appreciation.
So, would you rather appreciate love or hatred?
Love.
Love or anger?
Love.
Love or blame?
Love.
Love or...
Love.
Yeah. So now, what we are saying to you, to all of you, is that uninteresting as that general conversation about emotions may seem, because there are so many details in the contrasts that are titillating and adventurous and full of interest. But if you can accept that everything about you is about energy, and everything about your body is about the extension of energy, and if you could start each day, before you get out here having to bring yourself back, just starting there, what happens is you get this starting place that has no resistance in it. So there's no wobble, no wobble, no wobble. And then law of attraction brings you impulses and ideas that come from that no wobble until you find yourself empowered with this energy. It's like a laser of energy flowing through you. When you want to be here, but you are here, and you effort, it just increases both sides of that and makes the wobble more. That all illness is about the tug of war that is happening, you see. All discord. And oh, how wonderful this is that it's so easy to equate it with balance, with alignment, with ease, you see.
Absolutely.
This is not going to be a difficult thing for you. And the reason that we approached it in the way that we did just now is because we want to say to all of you, you all have interest in details of your life that are conditions that are holding you out of balance. And when you're trying to sort out those details, it's like Esther having a discussion with someone that she really cares about parenting, and listening to all of the ideas about parenting. In other words, how far do you go before you have spoiled your children? And what do you do when they begin misbehaving? And how do you approach it? And what do you do in the restaurant when it isn't going the way you want it to? And there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of books that have been written, all from the perspective of what to do when you're already out there in the wobble. And we want to say, when you're out there in the wobble, it doesn't matter what you do, it won't help. It'll just cause somebody to write another book about why that didn't work. Somehow you've got to accept that you are vibrational, And that what you're looking for is alignment, and in alignment there is no wobble. In alignment there is no introduction of resistance. And so you can't be out there in the conditions of your life weighing the pros and the cons of your behavior as it is with others. You know why you really want to start paying attention to the idea of unconditional love? Because you're not going to find it out there in the conditions. You're not going to find it out there in the conditions. There's too many moving parts. It just keeps your energy in too much chaos, you see. So, Abraham, are you saying that you want us to stop thinking about all of these things that are out there in our lives, all of the technology and all of the places and all of the money and all of the people and all of the everything? You want us to stop thinking about that and just think about those central things? And we say, not forever, just from the beginning. Just the beginning of the day. In other words, your momentum is going to grow. You're going to be involved in lots and lots of delicious details. The momentum is going to be extraordinary. But when you start, we began saying a little while ago that the first thing in the morning is the best time to approach this, because your momentum subsided while you slept, and so you're the most wobble-free right then. So if you can just find something that's easy for you to feel good about and just stay there, then those thoughts will grow. Law of attraction will see to it. Well, the first day, Esther didn't even make it till breakfast before she was wobbling all over the place. And the next day it was about the same thing, and the next day about the same thing. And so every day her intention was to feel good and see how far she could go feeling good. And at first it was boring, because it seemed like there were all of these things. She wouldn't read her email. She was kind of withdrawing from things. She sort of started hanging out by herself. She discovered that she was a little bit of a vibrational snob, and it was really easier not to wobble if she saw or spoke to no one. And then she began to notice that she got really good by herself, and she could do really well with strangers, because one morning she just woke up and fell in love with this pillow that was laying next to her. It was just the most beautiful thing. She had chosen every piece of fabric on it. She just had never really looked at it. She'd been choosing it about how it blended in the room, and now she's tracing her finger around the applique on it and feeling the lace around the edge of it. And she was just looking at it. She just thought, you are the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. And then she began to laugh, because she was just in total bliss, because nothing had started to wobble in her experience yet, and she's having this love affair with this pillow that she's and then she thought, you know why I love you so much? You've never wronged me. You've never let me down. You've never told me a lie. You didn't die and leave me. You didn't. You're not pretending to be something that you're not. There you are. And then Esther thought, it's the conditions that she's placing on things. It's not what others are presenting to her. It's the conditions that she was placing. So each day a little less wobble, each day a little less wobble, each day a little less wobble, until, once the energy starts moving, it's like the path beneath your feet is just unfolding in this dynamic way. You're not pulling back from life. You're pulling back from the resistance that was keeping you from life. Because you see, you have set all of this into your vortex. There's more in your vortex than you could live in 20 or 30 lifetimes. What you're doing is just finding a way to release the resistance, to release the tension within you, to release the self-induced, it is self-induced, contradiction or tug of war that you've